Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Becky and I am a blogger. I post here on YouTube twice a week, once on Wednesday and once on a Sunday. And today we have a very last minute YouTube video. Usually my videos are filmed, edited, uploaded, ready to go a few days before my upload date. But this week I've been working on some other things. So my plan was to, today while I was shooting, film a come and shoot with me kind of video, but then basically we ended up being in a really big rush shooting and I didn't have time to vlog at the same time. I'm uploading in 3 or 4 hours and I'm still filming. What I thought I would do is film a video I've been asked for a few times and has been on my to-do list for a while, and that is like a edit my Instagram pictures with me kind of thing. My camera's broken, so I'm filming on my phone and obviously I have to edit on my phone. So what I've done is edit the pictures and screen record it, and now I'm going to watch back the screen recording and put it on the screen here and talk you through it as we go through so you know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got the screen recording right here, so yeah, I'm just gonna watch it, let you guys know what I'm doing, talk you through it, because I think that just watching the video of the screen recording doesn't really help that much. So there were 3 different types of pictures I wanted to edit today. One was a full outfit picture where I went out of the house and took pictures. One was kind of not like a flat lay, but like a very plain one where I'm just holding a bag, more of a detail kind of shot. And then one of them was those kind of pictures that I take in the house where it's like very focused on like a dress or a top or something like that. So I'm going to go through those with you today. So I'm pulling up the outfit picture first. In this picture I'm wearing some Nasty Gal bits that were gifted, so I was promoting the jacket and the trousers. So the first thing that I'm doing is whitening the background because it's already fairly bright. I start here. Sometimes when the background isn't as bright I might start by like the exposure or something else, but you'll see that a bit later on. So I like to just really roughly whiten everything, and if some goes on my clothes or bits that it shouldn't do, then I go in afterwards and I zoom in and remove those bits that have gone onto the clothes, because obviously I don't want it on the clothes, but I find it a lot easier to remove it and be precise than avoid putting it on there in the first place, if that makes any sense outside of my head. Then I'm just playing around with the strength of the white, because sometimes if it's on 100 it can be really overpowering, and then adding in the floor, because I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do that before, but I do now. Then I'm gonna take the smooth tool, and I like to do like on the background, just smooth the walls and things like that. I'm using Facetune here, by the way. So I think sometimes in Facetune the quality of the image can be lost a little bit, so I like to just smooth it out and then that kind of graininess goes away. Then I'm going into the retouch and I've just put on the automatic settings, and then I kind of check the different settings that they've done. So for instance, you can see that it really smoothed my skin. I didn't like that, so I've pulled that down. I've whitened the bra. You can see that it's put like a glow to my skin, so I'm going to leave that there. I think that looks quite nice. And then again, I've noticed a little bit more graininess on one of the walls, so I'm smoothing that again. Then I really like to clean up my pictures as much as possible. If you guys follow my Instagram and you see my stories, you'll know that I'm very big on removing as much clutter in the background as possible. So I'm just using the patch tool to remove any little bits that I can, really. So I've removed a plug socket, I'm removing the sprinkler, and then I think in a second I'm about to remove the TV screen, because I feel like that just, it's not doing it for me. So the patch tool has left a little bit of a strange colour there where I couldn't quite fix it with the patch. So I'm going in here with the paint tool and then just clicking clicking on the wall with the picker and then using that colour to colour over the wall, and the same on the brown bit and the other wall. Just to kind of, this just kind of clears up the colours, puts them back to how they were originally and tidies it up, makes it look a lot less like you've just patched the heck out of it. But then it still does look a little bit patchy, so I'm going back in with the smooth tool. I'm using the double smooth one here, and I'm just rubbing that in, and it kind of blends it a little bit, and you can see that you can't really tell what happened now. I think I'm quite happy with that at the moment, but I don't like how the shoes look with these trousers. I think they needed heels, so I'm going to crop out the shoes which also seems to make me look a little bit taller. And then I'm going to save that and head over to ViscoCam and play around with the filter. So now that we're in ViscoCam, I have 4 like preset kind of things that I use. They're all variations of the A5 filter, just different ones. So like one is very exposed, one's very underexposed, things like that. So I usually find which one of those works best, and then I will play around with the individual settings. I've reduced the exposure a little bit, and then I'm just going to play around with these individual colors, because sometimes you'll get different tones just generally from the room, from the light, and they can really play around with that. So generally I will take the purple, the blue and the green, the saturation all the way down and the lightness up, which really whitens the background even more. And then I will play around with the orange and the yellow, because if you turn the saturation down too much, then your skin starts to look weird. So I don't think this really needs anything more. I'm gonna have a little play with the general saturation of the picture. I think that it looks nice, just pull down a tiny bit. And then I think I'm generally quite happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that, and that's ready for Instagram. So this is the before and after of that one. So apparently at some point I took a little break to take a couple of puppy pictures, and I thought I just had to leave this in for you. And then next is going to be the bag kind of detail-y shot. So this one doesn't really need anything. So first of all, I'm taking it into Snapseed and I'm just pulling this color curve up. I'm not very technical, so I don't know what that's called, but I just pulled it up and it's brightened it a little bit. Then I'm going into the brush and I'm desaturating that bottom orange light. I don't mind a little bit of orange in the picture, but I feel like 2 of them is just going to be a little bit too much on my Instagram feed next to everything else. Leaving that as it is. Now I'm going to take it over to Facetune. I prefer Facetune 2, but you can use it in Facetune 1, and I think that Facetune 2 you have to pay for, but not 1. So in Facetune, the first thing that's really bugging me is in the corner, this little bit where you can see like over, that's the staircase, so you can see like over it. I don't like that, so I'm just using the, I don't know what that's called, the pulley thing, the reshape. So I'm using the reshape just to pull that out so you can't see that anymore. I think it just makes the picture look a little bit tidier. And then again, I've put the auto on it. It's really smooth my hand, I don't like that, so I've pulled it down. And then I've gone to the glow, and again the glow was a bit too much, so I think I've pulled that down a little bit. And then I'm going to the whiten, and I'm going to whiten the wall behind the bag, just because I think it looks a little bit dull compared to the top of the wall. So I'm brightening that up, brightening the sleeve. I really like how bright and really white this picture is. That's really kind of what I was going for with this. So yeah, it might be a little bit too bright for some people's liking, but that's what I wanted. So once I've colored it all in, I am going to pull down the white just so it doesn't look too fake, and then smooth some of the patches where again it's lost a little bit of the quality. And then again I'm saving it, I'm going to ViscoCam, and then in ViscoCam again I'm looking through the same 4 filters that I use most of the time. I think that this one looks quite nice with that darker color on it, so I'm using that one. And then again I'm going in playing with the colors. I'm still not sure on that big orange strip, so I'm turning up the lightness on those, which just makes it a brighter orange rather than a deeper orange. But I really don't want to play too much with that, because again my skin color is going to start looking really weird. Literally this picture was taken like an hour ago, so this is how my skin color is looking right now. I'm really surprised that you can't tell in this picture how patchy my fake tan is. Again, I'm turning the blue right down. Again, I'm turning the blue down just to whiten that a little bit more. The background takes some of the color out of it. And then that's finished, so I'll pop the before and after on screen. So for the third picture, then I'm pulling this one up first of all in Facetune, because I'm just not liking how dark the backgrounds look. See, I don't know how well this is gonna go. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is get rid of the little cluttery things in the background, again, that I don't like. So I'm taking away the fire alarm. Love it in real life, don't really care for it in my pictures. So I'm taking that away with the patch tool, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on, there's this like rumple bit, I don't know what to call it really, in the wallpaper. So I'm going to get rid of that with the same patch tool. Then because the background is a little bit just dark and not really great in general, I'm going to defocus that, and I'm putting it on auto, but then I'm pulling it all the way down to 1. I don't like it when it's really defocused unless it's done really well, which I can't in Facetune. So, and then I'm going to retouch and using the whiten tool to brighten up the background as much as I can. Again, I'm just doing it really roughly. You can see I'm getting it all over myself, but I'm going to tidy that up afterwards. Because the two sides of the room are also like different kind of colors, I'm going to do those at different times. So I'm going to focus on the brighter side first, just because I think sometimes that when you're choosing how bright to have the white, the color behind it affects that. So if the two sides of the room look a little bit different, then I frequently like to just do them in 2 halves. And then after that I'm going to the other side and doing the same thing. One thing that I noticed was that the bottom of like the door wouldn't brighten anymore, so I went into the brush and then kind of used the picker to find a kind of lighter color and coloured in the bottom of the door that way to brighten it a bit more. Again, it's not perfect, but it's definitely a lot brighter than it was to begin with. And it is going to look a lot better once I put the filter on it. I feel like the filter kind of just tends to pull the colours together when the picture colours / quality are not great. Filter can really help. So again, I'm going into the retouch and using the auto. I'm turning the glow down because that's way too much, and turning the smooth down because that's way too much as well, and I don't want to look like a doll. And then the anti-glare and shadow and stuff doesn't really make much difference, I find, but it generally does in a good way, so I don't bother playing with that. And then I'm going to take it over into Visco Cam again and put a filter on it. So once again, I'm playing around with those same 4 filters. I can't decide whether I like it at the darker one or the lighter one. I think the lighter one would go better on my feed, but the darker one looks better. So I'm going to play around with the darker one and just pulling the exposure up, but it doesn't quite look right, so I'm going into the paler one and pulling the exposure down instead. And then I'm going back down to the HSL and playing with those colours again, pulling up some more of those skin tones to make me look less washed out. And then yeah, that's another really simple one. So those were 3 relatively straightforward edits. I have done some really complicated ones before that I've shared on my Instagram stories. I'll try and pull some of them up, like when I've edited people out of the back of pictures and things like that. But I didn't really have any that were so dramatic that needed editing, and I didn't want to do them just for the sake of it. So if you do want to see some more complicated ones perhaps, then you can let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, then please do let me know in the comments, because I would love to do some more like this. Editing my pictures is really part of the fun for me. I really enjoy it. So I would love to make more videos like this if you guys do enjoy it. Let me know in the comments if you did. And I will be posting all of these pictures to my Instagram at some point this week, so feel free to follow me there. The link is in the description. Shameless self-promotion. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you on Wednesday when I'm posting a summer haul with Naked Fashion. Bye!